Hi, it's Andrew Wallace here. I'm currently on the road enjoying the morning sunshine here in the beautiful Bedfordshire countryside. I don't know if you can see looking around there, but we've got the fields and it looks like it's going to be another gorgeous day. I'm going to, in a few seconds, take full advantage of it by having my today's workout outside. You know, I just love working out in the sun. But hey, this video isn't about the weather or my upcoming workout, so let's get back on track with what I wanted to say. Now, this video comes about from talking to a mate recently about Back to the Future film. But afterwards it got me thinking about how the noughties haven't really played out how they promised they would in that film. Now, casting my mind back, it's been 8 years since I moved out of my fitness business that I had on the Isle of Man, passing the boot camps and the mobile PT side of things to my trainers before jumping on a plane to head to my new life at the time, down under. When we arrived, I remember sitting down with a beer with Sheena on the beach at Cottesloe in WA, and we watched the sun go down, and I remember feeling immensely relieved and excited on what the next chapter of my life was going to be. But to be honest, I also felt a little bit lost. I've been getting so focused on getting everything sorted for my trainers, for my clients and that I hadn't really taken the time to think about how far I'd come or what the next chapter of my story was going to be. Over the prior 8 years, as I say, I'd scaled my business from a startup, from nothing, to running with a small team of trainers and having 6 bootcamp locations and a popular PT business as well that was run mobile. But what have I learned? Well, it feels only just like yesterday, but there's no getting around the fact that 2011 was 8 years ago. Time flies. Now, in between then and now, I've had the chance to reflect on my experience as a fitness business owner, you know, the good, the bad, the confusing, and the downright terrible. It tends to be the negatives that stick out in your memory the most, mostly because those are the things that you learn the most from. Now, when I think back to running my business for 8 years, certain things jump out more than others. Yeah, sure, I remember the big wins, the launch of a new location, the setup of a corporate wellness program, the new hire that was a perfect fit and all that. But the mistakes sting just a little bit more, wrong decisions, bad hires, losing some good clients, those long days, arguments, headaches and stress. Now, don't get me wrong, there were plenty of highs, but highlight reels, while fun viewing for the victor, don't teach us as much as a good post-mortem analysis. From the ashes of failure come valuable lessons. What is a lesson left unshared? And that's one of the key reasons I ended up retraining to be a business coach for PTs and studio owners. But that's a story for another day, I guess. In my work with hundreds of PTs and studio owners over the past 7 years, I've seen a lot of business owners make the same mistakes I made. Now, I do my best to advise them, lead them back onto the right path, help them to avoid suffering like I suffered back in the day. But if you've been burnt once, why let someone else get burnt too? But hey, not everyone is interested in being shown how to avoid the fire. They need to feel the heat for themselves, sticking their finger in that fire. Now, in my coaching practice, I often observe PTs who don't value they don't value the learning from experience. They just continue doing the same things, usually because they've run ragged, servicing some demanding clients. We've all had them, I'm sure, and yet they hope for a different outcome. Now, predictably, this doesn't tend to work out so well. If you need to get burnt before you learn, you and your business are going to be in for a rough ride, I'm afraid. But if you're interested in avoiding unnecessary pain, building a better business, enjoying the process, then carry on listening. Now my plan is to launch a new series of videos and articles where I lay out the 4 worst mistakes that I made as a PT, and mistakes I see countless other PTs and studio owners making as well, on what you can do to avoid suffering that same fate. I can't go back now and change anything, unfortunately. We haven't quite worked out time travel just yet, well, not that I'm aware of. But if I can help you and other PTs and studio owners avoid those same pitfalls, then you won't need a time machine, and that's good enough for me. The only value in an idea is how it makes you, how it helps you. Now, the greatest business plan ever written, as I'm sure you're aware, is pretty worthless without hard work and execution behind it. So, take the information you find in this series and use it to make your systems, your business, and your life better. In the end, that's all that matters. So, let's move on. So today's topic is mistake number 1 that PTs and studio owners make, and that's no vision. Hands down, the biggest thing that held me back in my PT business and didn't allow me to grow as quickly as I wanted was not being clear enough on where the business was going. Sound familiar? It wasn't that I had no idea what I wanted, it just was that I didn't know how crucial it was to have an exact destination in mind when you're setting out to grow your business. Now, maybe you started out as a PT working in a gym, you're a mobile PT like I was, where you're just one person servicing your clients. Or maybe you started out by acquiring a studio straight away and already built a team around you made up of, a few good talents and a 1 or 2 admin staff for good measure. Hey, great work. I've had clients from both of these camps. I've worked with bigger businesses pushing 10 plus staff with lots of clients to match, but I've also worked with smaller one case ones as well. But with each of them, I've learned something very interesting. Most of them had at one time or other felt lost on their journey. Sometimes they made it through on their own, with a lot of time, effort and pain. Other times they came to an experienced coach like me for guidance. It goes without saying that I helped them get back on track using a powerful yet simple set of tools. Now, what are those tools? Well, when you first start out, you'll take clients wherever you can get them. You take new business on left, right and centre without taking the time to consider whether they're really a good fit for you or your business. Now that strategy's fine until you hit that sticking point. What's that sticking point, you say? Well, that sticking point varies and it depends on your business. But one day you're going to wake up and realise that you've got 5, 10, 20, 30 demanding voices to answer to with no clear escape route in sight. Now, if you've been here, you know how that feels, and it's not pleasant. You started your fitness business with the best of intentions, hoping to build a business that worked for you and not the other way around. But before you knew it, you were just working hard as you ever did. And it's just like having a job all over again with the worst boss in the world, but with more stress, more worry, and of course risk than it's worth. So if this happens when you don't set out your plans in advance, now when your growth strategy is client acquisition or costs, no plan is needed. You just keep pitching and you keep winning new business, and you deal with the fallout later. Now that fallout comes when you don't pay attention to the critical infrastructure that you need to support these clients. The staff, the systems, the processes, the valuable core offering that you have, your marketing plan, they all matter, but we forget this when we head off on our journey without a map to guide us. However, if you've got an actual vision for your PT business, things are different. When you know where you want to be a year from now and what you need to do to get there, making strategic decisions is a heck of a lot easier. But when you're stuck in the trenches, a year can seem an incredibly long time. That's why I like to sit down with my coaching clients towards the end of their financial year. We hash out the details of their vision and we plan for the following year. We get crystal clear on their goals, their KPIs that we'll use to assess their progress and take full stock of the situation. And we use a variety of planning tools for that, SWOT analysis, planning tools and so much more. But a yearly plan on its own isn't very useful in my book, so we don't stop there. Once we've got clear on their big picture vision for the next 12 months, we go one step further and determine their quarterly plan. What are we planning to work on for the next 90 days? That's key. Here we create a plan that puts them on track to accomplish their yearly goals by breaking it down into quarters and allowing for seasonal fluctuations in revenue. I'm sure you've all experienced that, or anything else that's strategically relevant. Now we repeat this quarterly planning process 4 times a year for each quarter, constantly assessing and adjusting as needed. But we don't stop there. To really make sure we deliver the annual vision, we take our quarterly plan and we use it to create a monthly plan. Now I find that a month is the shortest period of time most PTs and studio owners should think in. To help your team, you'll want to implement daily and weekly plans to stay on track. But visionaries, the owners of the business, you guys, need to think bigger. This monthly plan is just as it sounds. We take the quarterly goals, determine what they can realistically be done in the next month, and we set it out for achievement. Now this 3-level planning process sounds simple. If you already do it, you probably think it's obvious, but you would be astounded if you knew how many PTs and studio owners don't have a solid, well-informed vision of where they're going. I was shocked. And the ones that do, at least 80% of them don't have concrete quarterly and monthly plans with built-in KPIs to assess their progress. All in all, that's what they need to hold them accountable. Without a vision, you can't see the road ahead. If you don't know where you're going, you won't know if what you're doing is helping your business or if it's strangling the life out of it. Take the time to sit down and figure out where you want your business to be a year from now. Now be realistic, but don't be afraid to think bigger. We can often do more than we expect when we actually work for it. But there's more. Don't stop there. Go further. Now take that 1-year vision and figure out what you need to do this quarter in order to get there. Then I want you to drill down 1 level deeper and figure out what needs to happen this month to get your vision from here to there. Without a vision, we flounder. We don't know which option to choose, so we choose whatever's easiest or whatever pays us the most money right now. But this approach is going to cost us all in the long term. So get strategic and your business will reap the benefits in the weeks, months and years to come. Thanks a lot for your attention. Hope you found this content useful, and I'll see you again very soon with the next installment. Now next time, I want to discuss the second mistake I made as a PT. It's a crucial one you need to avoid. Bailing out the boat instead of plugging the leak, so stay tuned. Oh, and one final thing. If you have any questions, please pop them in the comments below. And make sure you join me on Facebook as well. It's Andrew Wallis, W-A-L-L-I-S, HQ, or I'm on Twitter at AndrewWallis70. Big tweeter, so please go ahead, send me a quick tweet. Let me know what you need help with in your business. Okay guys, let's smash 2019 together. Take care and enjoy the rest of your day. I'll speak to you soon. Bye for now.